Okay, so um, good morning, sir. Okay, so before I start, let me introduce myself. I am Gilbert Riveche. Then I choose to discuss about the pros and cons of online classes. So first, let's discuss about the objectives. So we have five objectives here. Okay, so number one, to be able to know the pros and cons of online classes, of course, that will be our highlight, okay, in our discussion. And number two, to be able to understand what is the role of students in online classes. Of course, because some students they don't know okay, what's their responsibilities okay, as students through online classes. And number three, to be able to understand the role or the responsibilities of the teachers in online classes. And number four, to be able to know how does um, students learn while online classes. And number five, to be able to understand how the students show their honesty and integrity in online classes. Okay, so these two, honesty and integrity, is very important okay, because it's online. Okay, so some students can search in the web page. Okay, so that will be our objective. So now let's proceed to what is an online classes. Of course, so we will discuss what is the meaning of online classes. So here, an online class is a course conducted over the internet. Okay, so they are generally conducted through a learning management system in which students can view their course syllables and academic progress as well as communicate with fellow students and their course instructor. So in the University of Mindanao, we have account, okay, account you Mindanao, okay, so which is that is account wherein students and the professor okay will conduct classes over the internet. And number two, in online courses, students attend class by visiting the class web page. They complete assignments according to the class schedule. Students communicate with the instructor and classmates using email and online discussion forums. Okay, so um, example is that is the um, um, Google Meet. Okay, so we're in the University of Mindanao, we usually have synchronous session, okay, which will be in the um, Google Meet. Okay, so both the professor and then the students attend classes. Okay, so it depends on that professor for how many times they will meet. And then in the web page or in the account of students, which is the university, I mean, you mean the now.edu.com. Okay, so the professor will just post the schedules or the assignments or the activities, okay, for the students. They will answers. Okay, and then also the email and online discussion forums. Okay, so we have also the email or the you mean the now email. Okay, so let's go to how online classes works. So number one, online classes are typically a mix of video, recording, or live lectures, supplemented with readings and assessments that students can complete on their own time. Of course, so it is an online, so it is a mixed video recording. Okay, so it depends on the professor, okay? Kung ano yung gusto niya or mag video recording siya or mag live lectures. Then number two, some online courses require students to attend and participate at set times through video conference. Okay, so students very required, okay, so to participate or to attend during the synchronous session because that's the time na para pag-usapan, okay, to discuss anything regarding on the topic. And then third, online courses require the same dedication, participation, and commitment to learning as on-campus courses. You'll be expected to log into your classes frequently. Just like a traditional class, you'll be expected to complete assignments and quizzes according to the course schedule. Okay, so this one is we need to um, gusto we need to have our dedication, participation, and also the commitment because it is an online classes. It's not just like a normal class that you just attend to the school, but online classes we need participation and then the the commitment. And of course, we need to complete the assignments and quizzes and any activities according to the course schedule. Okay, so let's go to role of students in online class. So there are one, two, three, four, five. So there are five role or five responsibilities of students in online class. Number one is demonstrate demonstrate the technical and academic skills to be a successful online students. One who can operate the computer and internet functions necessary to complete the online class and someone who has the self-discipline and time management skills to work independently. Of course, as um, students, you are expected to have a computer or any gadgets that you can use in online classes and also the internet. Of course, we need to have a self discipline and time management to work independently. It is an online classes and we are holding our time. So as a students, you should have a self-discipline and time management skills. Okay, number two, know and comply with due date and deadline requirements of the course. Of course, this is one of the responsibility. We should comply before the due date all the activities that the professor has given to us. And number three, communicate with the instructor and fellow students and professional polite manner using appropriate tone, language, grammar, and spelling. Of course, we should do this one. Okay, so because our professor holding a lots of um, students. Okay, so there is a pattern how to communicate with them. If you have any concerns, you can email, but make sure with respect, okay, and with professional and with polite. And yes, next, know and understand students' rights and responsibilities as detailed by the class syllables. Okay, so we have the class syllables is the that is the guide of the students. Okay, and then the last one is comply with online participation requirements to avoid being dropped for non-participation at the beginning of or the midpoint of class. consult the class syllables and the instructor for class specific requirements and procedures. Okay, so as students, as I said a while ago, we should comply all the activities that we have. Okay, in order to avoid some bad things in your grade. Okay, and then also if you don't have an idea, just go to the syllables. Okay, so in the syllables is nandun na lahat ang mga activities, ang mga quizzes, exams, all covered na doon. And then, yes, class-specific requirements and procedures. Okay, so let's go to the responsibilities of teachers in online class. Okay, so here we Similarly, the online teacher plays the role of guiding students through one or more online learning experiences. These experiences are most often designed and planned long before the course starts so that the teacher can devote more time to guiding the students and less time preparing lessons, of course. So they are the one who guide the um, students online online class course, and then they are the one also who encourages to the students. Okay, and then yes, before the um, deadline, um, they should um, give, okay, the activities. Okay, just like for example 1 week. Okay, so advance for 1 week. And then next, okay, so how students learn in online class. Okay, so we will discuss how they will learn through online class. Okay, so I think there are seven. Yes, okay, so there are seven. So let's discuss about number one. Number one, develop a time management strategy. Of course, okay, so as students, we are holding our time. Okay, so um, um, we don't need to go to school, but we just have in our home and have a classes. So we should um, exercise the time management strategy. Okay, so number two is make the most of online discussion. Of course, students' interaction mostly occurs through online threaded discussion that allows students and instructors to interact asynchronous time. Okay, so it depends on that professor of how many times they will have or they will have a synchronous session. Okay, so sometimes once a week or twice a week. Okay, so during the synchronization, it is the time for discussion. Okay, it is the time for the students interact with the professor. And then number three is use it or lose it. One challenge some students face when learning online is retention of the course content. Of course, okay, so after the session or after the discussion, okay, so all knowledge that that the students learn will just forget it. Okay, so that's why it is use it or lose it. So student survey agree that finding a way to apply the concept help them retain in the information, of course. Okay, so if you learn, you should apply what you have learned from the discussion. Okay, so example, I applied the use or loss technique as soon as I read or study it. Okay, so number four, make questions useful to your learning. as far as I learn, um, questions or knowledge comes from questions. Okay, so you will learn something if you ask a questions. Here we go. One student um, commented that asking questions is integral by learning, of course. So knowledge comes from the questions. By asking questions, fellow students and instructors would go deeper into the subject. Okay, so going deeper made the subject matter more understandable. Okay, so the online course environment typically provides communication tools such as threaded discussion, email, connectivity, and live chat. Okay, so that students can use to ask in-depth questions. Okay, so number five, stay motivated. Of course, so there are um there are times that we felt kapoy na like that. I'm so tired to study, but we should have our motivated or we should have our motivation. Okay, so without direct physical contact, interaction with other learners or an instructor, online students can lose their interest or motivation made away through their course or program. Okay, so yes, that's right. Okay, because you know what, it's just like a boring. Okay, so that's why some students lost their interest or motivation. Okay, so number six is communicate the instruction techniques that work. Okay, so instructors in online courses employ a variety of techniques aimed at engaging the learning. The participants in this study discuss some of the techniques that were most successful. One students commented. Okay, so yes, we should ask to our professor what is the techniques, how can we learn this one. Okay, so and then the last one is number seven, make connections with fellow students. So the participants in this study had the opportunity to share successful techniques and practices that help them in developing their online students skills through some open-ended questions, of course. So it is an online, and yes, we are. It's hard if you are working alone. Okay, so it is better to communicate your fellow students. So me, as I experience, we have GC. Okay, so and the messenger. So all the subjects that I have, okay, so I have all GCs. Okay, in order for me to, if I have some questions, I will just chat on the GC and then some students will reply. Okay, so it's on developing. Okay, so yes, so let's proceed the main topic. Okay, that we have. It's all about the pros and cons of online class. But for today, we will first discuss the pros of online class. Okay, so I have um 10. Okay, so I just choose 10. Actually, there's so many pros. Okay, but I choose only 10 pros. Okay, so number one, online courses are convenient. Of course, it is really convenient. Why? The biggest advantage of an online course is that your classroom and instructor are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Your only excuse for missing class is not getting online. Of course. Okay, so you can ask anytime, anywhere. Okay, because it is just an online, and then everything is available for you. You can get announcements, access notes and review assignments, take practice quizzes, discuss questions, and chat with fellow students and study anytime you want. That's why it is very convenient. You can read the announcements, you can answer the quizzes if you are free, if you have a good internet. So that's why it is a very convenient. Number two, online classes are flexibility. Of course, why? You can study anytime you want. You can get, I mean, you can study with whomever you want. You can study wearing anything you want, okay, or nothing if if prefer. And then online courses give you the flexibility to spend time with work, family, friends, significant others, or any other activity you like. So that's why it is very flexibility or flexible. Okay, so you can study whatever you want, or you can study what time what you want. You can study anything, okay? Or I mean, you can do it. Okay, you can do what you want. Okay, so number three, online courses bring education to your home. Yes, it is an online, so you are just staying at home. Okay, so you need to go to school. Okay, so you can study at your home with your family, with your friends, with your boyfriends, or any relatives. Okay, so next is online. Online courses offer more individual attention. Of course, it's more on about individualism. Okay, so you are not relying to your friends, to your classmates, or to your um, professor, but it's all about yourself. Okay, so because you have a direct pipeline on the instructor via email, you can get your questions answered directly. Many students aren't comfortable asking questions in class for fear of feeling stupid. The internet hopefully eliminates that fear. Of course, so it's just like a normal class that if you some students fear to ask a questions because they feel that they are stupid, but through online class you can chat, you can email the um, you can chat or email privately, okay, the or to your professor if you have any questions. And then next is online courses help you meet interesting people. Many of us don't really take the time to get know our fellow students, especially in large classes. We might be too busy or we're just plain shy. An online course provides an opportunity to get to know other students via bulletin boards, chat rooms, and mailing lists. Okay, so compared to the normal class, some students they just attend the class only. Okay, so they are not going to have a friends with fellow classmates, but through online class, you need to communicate with your fellow classmates, with your classmates, of course. As what I have said a while ago, every subjects that I have GCs. Okay, so in order for me to, if I have any questions, I will just ask them. Okay, so next, online online courses give you real world skills. Of course, skills because you are using a computer. Okay, and then when you complete this course, you will be able to include email and web browsing and technical skills on your resume. that gives you a definite advantage over someone who doesn't have these skills. Of course, because right now it's just like a home base. Okay, so when you say home base, they are using any gadgets. So if you are mastered about that, well, it's easy for you to do it. Okay, so that's why it will give you the real world skills. Next is online courses promotes lifelong learning. Okay, so most of the time, most of what we learn in a course is forgotten within a week or two of the end of classes. Having that sparks of interest and knowing how to find information online ensures that what you're learning is always available to you. Okay, so yes, this is true that we will forget, okay, our um, l- learning just a few days. Okay, but through online, you can search that one. You can um, anything. You can look at any web page. Okay, so that's why it promotes lifelong learning. So next is online courses have financial benefits, of course. So because you are not allowed, I mean, you don't need to go to schools. You don't need to rent a house, and you don't need to buy books or any expenses in schools. That's why it is just a financial benefits. It's just only a okay. I will read this one. Although you may think that buying a computer and paying for internet access is pretty expensive, consider what it would cost you in gas, sparking each month if you were driving a campus. Consider the cost of eating out versus eating at home. Okay, so consider the cost of childcare, pet care, or any other kinds of care that you need to provide while you are away from home. Consider the cost of missing work to make classes or not being eligible for a promotion because you can attend classes to advance your educational level. These are very tangible benefits of having access to education at home. Now, see, that's why we can have a financial benefits. And then next is online courses teach you to be self-disciplined, of course. Okay, so this is the main point, okay, of the pros. It will teach you to be self-disciplined, self-reliant. Okay, because there's no holding your time. There's no one saying, "Hey, let's do this. Hey, you need to do this task. Hey, let's answer all the activities." No, but it's your own. Okay, it's your own choice if you do this or not. Okay, so that's why it's teach you to become who you are. It will teach you to be self-disciplined. Okay, so the last one is online courses connect you to the global village. No technological invention in the history of a man connected the people of the world like the internet. While there is still a huge disparity between those who have access to the internet and those who don't. The mere fact that any of us can communicate across the globe speaks to importance of this medium. Of course, because through the internet, through the computer, we can communicate global. Okay, so unlike before, it's hard for them to communicate, but now it's because of the technology that we have, it's easy for us to communicate. Okay, so that's all the pros of the online class. Now, let's discuss let's discuss about the cons of the online class. Okay, so number one, online course or online courses required more time than on-campus classes. Absolutely, I am agree. Okay, so if you are in the normal class, it is not just too much time that you will give, but in through online class, you are required to more time. Okay, to more time to do your activities, your assignments, and any quizzes. Okay, so number two, online courses make it easier to procrastinate. Of course, we are Filipino, and that is our tradition that we will say, mamaya na. Okay, so that is our motto. Okay, so we are always procrastinate the schedules, the due date. Okay, so next is online courses require good timing management skills. Of course, so an internet-based courses demand that you develop personal time management skills. As with most things, if you don't manage your time properly, you will find yourself buried beneath a seeming and insurmountable mountain of coursework. Of course, so we required, okay, so good timing management skills. And next is online. Online courses may create a sense of isolation. Of course, because you are just um, staying at home. Okay, so your classes is at home, so it feels like you are uh, isolated. And then is online. Online courses allow you to be more independently. Yes, as what I have said before, it's all about yourself. Okay, it's self, or you you should have be self discipline. Okay, so allow you to be more independently. The next is online courses require you to be an active learner. Of course, because it is just online, so some professor they will discuss through synchronous. So you should active in learner. Okay, so the next one is online courses give you more freedom, perhaps more than you can handle. Okay, so this freedom can be dangerous if you don't learn how to handle it. Of course, we are freedom. Okay, so online classes, all students are freedom. Okay, so they are the one holding their time. They are the one who decides their self or anything. Okay, but that freedom it makes you dangerous if you if you don't know how to handle it. Okay, so next is online courses require that you find your own path to learning, of course. Okay, so it's all about yourself how to study. Online classes is just like a self-paced. Okay, so you are the one to study. You are the one to find your own. Okay, so that's why we have forum. If you have any questions, just post on the page. And then the last one is online. Online courses require you to be more responsible for your own learning. Of course, it's all about yourself, as what I have said before. So I think that's all the discussion. Okay, so all what I have said is according what I have read and searched also. Okay, so thank you so much, sir, and I think that will be the end of my discussion.